The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate podcast. I'm Luis, your host, and today we have a very special guest. We have Jennifer from Jacksonville, Florida, who's a person who has done around 35 transactions in the last 2 years. So her career is going up, and she's going to become one of the top realtors in Florida very soon. So please, Jennifer, can you let us know about your story?
Yeah, hi, my name is Jennifer Roundtree. I actually cover all of Northeast Florida. And so my story, basically, I have been in real estate now since 2016. So started off in kind of like the investor world. I formed my own investment company in 2019 and then decided that I wanted to get licensed shortly after COVID hit, and became licensed at the end of 2022. I joined eXp Realty, actually on this side, no, that side, sorry.
Nice.
And I've been with eXp the whole time. I love my brokerage. I love that model, what they represent. And I just, really hit the ground running. I feel like I've always had kind of, I've always wanted to be in a service type role, I guess you could say. So like before I got introduced to real estate, I do have a medical background as well. So again, helping people. And I ended up getting out of the medical field, and this was kind of a really cool segue to also being of service to people. And I just happened to have a knack for it. And so it just kind of advanced from there.
Wow. Wow. And what strategies are you using to effectively connect with your clients and understand their needs?
Yeah, so I mean, when I'm talking to somebody for the first time, I am just being myself. I'm putting on my listening ears. You know, they always say definitely listening is going to get you far more than talking over somebody or just trying to um, you know, handle the conversation. So I definitely try to meet people where they are. I learned really early on in this business not to try to maneuver people how I would want them to transact or perform. And basically, once I started meeting people, where they are and where they wanted to be based off of their timeline and not my timeline, I was able to get a lot further. I was able to really get in, dive deep, have those conversations, and listen to what their needs are. And then basically, based off of, what they told me their pain points were, then I tried to address those. And I definitely started to tackle it more as a problem solving versus a quote unquote transaction. Why is this person moving, or why is this person selling? And then trying to tackle, it's more of a problem solving for me. And then just getting to the root of whatever it is, and then just trying to help them the best way that I can.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for answering. And how do you stay updated with the trends in Jacksonville?
Yeah, so I actually I try to stay as on top of it as I can. My social media has been growing. I have a very extensive following on Facebook already. I'm trying to grow out my Instagram, but I do now have a team that's behind me that's also helping. So I do have a transaction coordinator that I've been able to take on. She's awesome. She helps me, stay up to date. She obviously alleviates a lot of time for me. And I also have a virtual assistant that helps me with a lot of that minutia, type stuff. And it's really great because it leaves me more available to have those intimate conversations with my clients and with my customers. and be on top of their needs, and I can still keep up with everything that's going on virtually too.
That's awesome. So your virtual assistant is helping you a lot, right?
Yeah, she really is. So
Perfect,
yeah,
perfect.
it was just me for the first year, and I definitely feel like that is so important because you really have to know how to do it yourself so that you know how and what you expect from somebody else. And so I think it's very important to know how to do it yourself and to do it yourself. But the moment that it becomes too much, you have to make that decision. Okay, now it's time to, funnel the stuff out, bring in people so that you can be more available because we're just humans, right? So, I mean, we can only do so much at one time. And she really, yeah, she helps out a lot. So,
Wow,
very
that's
grateful
amazing.
for her.
You're lucky to have her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect, perfect. And how do you balance managing multiple clients and transactions at once while ensuring each one receives a customized attention?
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to, I try not to multitask as much. There are actually studies that are being done that's telling us not to multitask and not to try to juggle as much as one at one time. But then from the outside looking in, you're like, wow, how are you able to handle all these transactions at one time? So, that's definitely where I kind of definitely have a really good schedule, and I have a good follow-up system, which is really super important. I feel like the follow-up system, I contact people on certain days. Of course, you get I was just on a phone call this morning actually with a relocation buyer that I have that's going to be relocating from Colorado to Florida. And so you have those odds and ends that kind of pop up, but I just make sure that I answer the phone. I think that's so important. Answer the phone, be there. If for some reason they don't get me because I'm with somebody else, I'm popping out an email to them. I just want to make them feel that seen. I think that's the biggest thing, is to make your customer feel like they're seen. You heard them, you'll get back to them as soon as possible. I also tell them too that if they want an immediate response, just text me. And a lot of them will, text me. I'm literally talking to one on the phone and I'm texting. And so, yes, that's still kind of multitasking, but I definitely want to make sure everybody's touched by the end of the day.
Yeah,
So
awesome.
follow up is
So,
really important.
are you using a specific CRM, or what technology are you using to handle your clients?
Yeah, so I'm actually using KV Core. I'm using
Okay.
KV Core, and that's working just fine for me as far as that's the one that my brokerage provides me. I say that the CRM is only as good as the one that you use. And I find that that seems to be the kind of consensus, I guess, is that agents are not using their CRM to its full potential. And I'm still learning. Like, even though I'm in my second year, I'm still learning things about KV Core and just going in there and messing around and going, oh, I wonder if I can do this, or and I'm still seeing things and just trying to put it out there as much as possible. So it's definitely helping me with my ads. Um, I do a lot of organic ads, so I'm putting stuff out there on social media, but it's also, coming right back to my website, and so people can get in touch with me. I'm also leaving just easy ways to get in touch with me: website, phone number. Just really trying not to be a secret agent. I'm trying to be out there and exposed. So you
Exactly.
should have no problem getting in touch with me.
Yeah, secret agent is, no one's gonna find them. So,
Yeah, no, there's so many agents out there too that are like, no, don't call me on this number and don't use this email. And I don't really think that they understand that that's really limiting to your customer base. That's really limiting to the public, because the public kind of sees you at that point as like hands off, like do not touch. When in reality, you know, and then you're wondering like, why don't you have the production level that, say, somebody that is, out there being seen every day does. So
yeah, exactly. And how do you approach setting and negotiating pricing for listings? And what factors do you consider?
So I consider all factors, especially in this market. So I don't know about other markets. I can't speak to even some other parts of Florida and other states, but up here in Northeast Florida right now, what we're seeing is, even if you price something that is at market value, or right under market value, it's still sitting. We are in that market right now where we are seeing, so all of the normal ways that you would go about pricing a property, comps, condition, all of those things, doing your full listing appointment, going to the seller's home, showing value. I do all of that. But on top of that, now because of the market changes and the shifts that we're having, and I do expect at least one more shift before the end of the year, I can feel it almost like rain. It's kind of weird saying
Yeah.
that, but I feel like it's coming. And so what I do for my sellers, and I'm currently doing to anticipate that, is I'm letting them know, look, I'm not afraid of underpricing your property. I'm
Okay.
really not, because the market's going to bring it up to where it needs to be. What I am afraid of is putting it out on market or right under market and the buyers not thinking that's a good enough deal. Because right now, the buyers in this market are super, super picky.
Yeah.
And if they don't feel like they're getting a good deal, they're passing you off and they're going to a different property and you're never to be seen again. And I think that the sellers really have to understand and listen to their agents now more than ever, because I mean, we definitely know what we're talking about when it comes to this stuff, and we're seeing it firsthand because, you know, it's just the nature of everything. Like, it has to happen in order for you to be able to express it. So we've already been through it. We've had properties list and sit this year. And so that's definitely what I'm recommending to them.
Awesome. Actually, that is leading us to the next question. What advice would you give to a first-time home buyer in Jacksonville?
So actually, and I have had several this year. So advice I give to a first-time home buyer is, it can be very stressful. I know that you definitely haven't done it before. Um, my first piece of advice would be absolutely invest, especially with the law changes and everything, invest in an agent, invest in a buyer's agent. That is somebody that's going to take you from start to finish. And even though you possibly with these new changes may end up paying them, it's going to be money well spent because they could save you a lot in the long run. We're talking inspections, we're talking possible defects with the home that wasn't mentioned to you. We're talking, the appraisal, different things like that. Not only that, but also just your offer getting approved. And I think right now it's really important for new first time home buyers, but also just the public in general, to not be afraid and also, trust your agent and definitely trust that they can get you to where you need to be, whether it be concessions, whether it be, there's all different things that we can do. We can talk to our lender about possible, benefits that you might be qualified for. There's a lot of different things that we can do. So I definitely would encourage any first-time home buyer, if you're looking in any market, to reach out to an agent and just have those like initial conversations about what would it look like for you to buy a home right now in
Yeah,
the market that you want to be in, for sure.
exactly. And also, just so you know, Jennifer, we also have the audience, realtors who are trying to get into the real estate market and they don't know how to do it. So we know that you since the beginning you were very successful. So
Yeah.
what advice would you give to these new realtors who doesn't know what to do?
Yeah, well, and so actually, I want to let everybody know too. Part of what I do is I'm a certified mentor for EXP Realty, and I actually coach new realtors who are coming into become realtors now in this market and during this time. So one of the pieces of advice that I give them is to definitely, regardless of which brokerage you go to, EXP I think is wonderful, and they give you a lot of resources and a lot of tools. You have a lot of tools, right? You have the MLS, you have all these different tools around you, but it's not enough to just have the tools. You also have to be resourceful. So you have the resources, but you actually have to use those resources. And I think excuses like I don't know how and things like that are really kind of, super weak, because you have people in place. You usually have a good support system, even if it's just you and you don't know anybody. come find me, come talk to me, because I can show you how to make your sphere from scratch. I can, show you how to use and leverage the things that are around you. One of the things, I'll leave this nugget here. So one of the things that
Yeah.
I did when I was new was, instead of waiting for open houses to actually just come about, I went out to the listing agents and just asked them if I could do their open houses on any listing that was like 60 days plus old.
Okay.
I just asked, I said, can you go to your seller for me and see if they would be open to me doing an open house? So in other words, I I used the fact that I could just get right in as another agent to the listing agent and immediately started talking to them and started the conversation. They may not have been deciding to do an open house at that point, but I was going ahead and making the moves to put it in, like plant the seed into their brain so that they go to talk to their seller. And most of the time it worked out. Either I got, a day out of the weekend, or I got a day of the week, or I got 2 of the days for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And I ended
Wow.
up booking myself out about 4 months doing open houses. And I was able to really build up my pipeline. So just using that as an example, it doesn't have to be open houses, obviously. It could be any type of lead generation that you want to do. They all work. It just, I tell all of the new agents that I come into contact with, it's not so much what you do and what you pick. They all work. Door knocking works, open houses work, cold calling works, organic social media works. It's what you can stay consistent with. So pick something that you can consistently do, and the consistency is what's going to really separate you.
Yeah. I want to talk about door knocking because yesterday I had a podcast with a guy from Florida also. And
Okay.
he said he arrived to Jacksonville. Nobody knew him. Nobody
Mhm.
literally knew him. So he started to do door knocking, and he did it with 600 homes. 600
Wow.
homes. And it
Yeah,
was
that's
in
quite the tall
summer. Yeah,
order.
and it was very hot. He said he was very
Yeah.
hot, the weather. So yeah, he did 20 transactions out of those first door knockings part. So what do you think about it? Do you believe also the old style is good for realtors?
I do. I do. 100%. So I am definitely not above going back to the basics. I love the organic. Um, I love getting in front of people. I like having those conversations. So whether it's cold calling, door knocking, 600 doors, that is a tall order. Hopefully that wasn't all at the same time,
Yeah.
but I think that that's wonderful. And I mean, the thing is that you're getting in front of people. You're getting in front of people. You're having those conversations. It doesn't matter if they're interested or not. What matters is that you're top of mind. You know, I think that there's a statistic out there that's like something like 86% of people that we meet are not ready when we meet them. And
Yeah.
that's okay. That's okay. That's one of the biggest lessons that you have to learn as an agent. And the sooner you can get on board with it's okay that they're not ready when you need them to be, I'm telling you, the better off that you will be. I go in a quarter, the way I do and set up my CRM. And what's really helped me is I go into a quarter type basis. So I put people in the quarters in which they want to close. And then I address them throughout the year, of course, but I address them heavily when we're in the quarter where they want to be or in the quarter before. So the way that it works is it helps me scale out my business that way. And I can get a little bit more consistency with people who are moving because I'm not physically trying to put them in my bubble. I'm not trying to put them in like I need you to close in the next 30 days if they're trying to close in the next year. Well, then we're just going to try to close in the next year. And I have found that you bring a lot more people towards you that way versus if you're trying to push somebody to move when you think that they should move, you're going to scare that person away.
Yeah.
You're going to actually end up pushing that person away because they don't care. At the end of the day, nobody cares what time frame the agent's on. They only care about their time frame. And if they get the feeling that you're putting your needs above their own, they're gone. Like they're not even going to say bye. So what's the point? You have to definitely make sure that you put your best foot forward.
Awesome. Awesome. I can see your career is going very, very fast soon. I'll see you in the top 10, top agents in EXP. So, are you currently trying to recruit new people for your brokerage or coach
Um,
new people?
yeah, so I'm always coaching. I'm always mentoring. I have several mentees actually at this time. And so I'm always taking on new agents, but so I don't really look at it as recruiting. When agents come to me and they want to learn about EXP, I tell them. I tell them my story, I tell them my experiences, and I let them kind of be the judge for themselves. If they end up joining the brokerage, then it's literally just because of what's already there and what they can already find, like either through talking to people online, things like that, or they just fall in love with the model. The model is very attractive in the regard that there's a lot of freedom there. There's a lot of flexibility. A lot of us were already, if we were not agents at the time that COVID hit, a lot of us had to come home, right, and work from home.
Yeah.
And so a lot of us already have that like cloud feeling, or maybe we were already in a job where it was cloud based. So I think that that's a really good segue for a lot of people who are getting into real estate. If you've already been working from home, or if you've already had a job where you had like a lot of flexibility, or let's say you have small kids or whatever the case may be, the great thing about EXP is it's really going to give you that freedom to be yourself, be that entrepreneur, and really shape your business how you see fit.
Awesome, awesome. That is perfect. Is there something else you would like the audience to know about you, or any advice you would like to give generally, Jennifer?
Yeah, so I just want to make one plug if I can. I
Sure.
have so I am part of EXP Young Professionals. I'm actually a state leader, one of the state leaders for Florida, and I'm also on the board of directors for Mentorship. And so I would
Wow.
love to for everybody look up young professionals, join us on Facebook. We're on Workplace, Instagram. Make sure that you're following us for updates. I personally get on every once a month. I do some type of training, so I'm going to be live next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the page, and I'm going to be teaching leverage. So definitely, tune in. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Jen underscore the Realtor underscore. And for all of those things, just if you follow me, then you'll get notified when those are coming out. So those are free trainings. Like you don't necessarily have to be coached by me, things like that. That's just stuff that I put out there to the public that I want. It doesn't matter if you're brand new or if you've been in the business for 25 years and you just want some refreshers, it's there for you.
Awesome, awesome. It was such a pleasure
Yeah.
to have you here at Icons of Real Estate because you have a lot of experience in just two
Thank you.
years,
Thank you. Yes,
and
thank
we're
you so
looking
much.
seeing you very soon, Jennifer.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.